What's up, y'all? We got another dirty lawnmower video. So what we have here is a serious problem with hay like that. So what happened was I was cutting grass and I started hearing a new squeak. And y'all, don't make fun of me because of my lawnmower dirty. I heard a new squeak, and then I was like, oh, what's up with this new squeaky sound? So I stopped, disengaged the blade, squeak went away. I re-engaged the blade and maybe cut for another 10-15 minutes. After that, while I was cutting, heard a bunch of racket, belt come off. This was like laying here. So, needless to say, that thing was pretty hot. So where my finger is, there's supposed to be a bushing, and the bolt goes through that bushing. My assumption is that up underneath there, you know, we're still gonna have the bolt going through the bushing. This goes to the belt tensioner. I replaced this 5 years ago. So I know this because what I did is I went through my eBay listings, not listings, excuse me. I do sell stuff on eBay, but I went through my eBay purchases and searched and searched and searched. I started to give up because I really thought it was just a couple years ago, and I finally found it from like April 5 years ago, and where I had bought one, and I actually bought one from the same company, used the same link. Back then it was $9.75. Now it's $12.75. So it went up $3. What hasn't gone up $3? You know, here's the thing. If something's $100 and it goes up $3, that's one thing. But if it's $9.75 and it goes up $3, that's a totally different story. I mean, the value of my $9.75 hasn't increased by $3 over the past 5 years. When is this inflation going to slow down? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's insanity. You know, you can go to the grocery store and things just keep on going up and up. But anyway, this isn't a rant about things going up and politics and stuff. Whatever. Let's get back on track. So this happened maybe 2 weeks ago. Yes. So I bought one off that eBay listing. It came in the mail, and I just haven't had time to put it on. This is a Sunday, so what better time than now? That way I got time. If I don't have time to cut the grass today, at least I'll have it fixed and I can cut the grass one day this week. All right, so we got some stuff to take apart, some grass to clean up. We'll put some cardboard down here so I don't get all itchy in this grass, and let's get some tools and get with it. I was looking for the WD-40, but I guess the PP plaster will work. So what I was going to do is, so like where on both sides where these guards are, I replaced these screws a couple years ago and just repainted these. I didn't buy new ones because one of them's fine. The other one is actually kind of messed up right here. But why waste the money when you don't have to? I just put the screw through it with a washer. So they get kind of rusty on the end, so a little bit more difficult to get out. I'd rather not tear up the threads any more than I have to. So I was going to spray these with WD-40, and but can't find the WD-40. Don't know what I did with it. I know I'm not out, but PB Blaster will have to work. Some people would remove the deck to do this, or at least drop the deck down. I'm not going to do that. So I'm also going to take these off for this, just to get it out of my way. So a lot of this, I'm just taking this stuff out so I'll have more room to work. So in 9/16 we'll fit these. So that's what I'm going to use here. Okay, so I got both those off, and you just pick this up like this. Get that out of the way. These are held on by this, like a retaining washer. I'm gonna just leave those alone, leave them right there, okay? This thing is kind of old. I would say maybe about in the maybe 15 years old. Maybe. I'd be able to tell by looking at the serial number if I knew how to read the serial number. Maybe there's a year on it or something. I just don't remember currently. But, okay, so let's take these off next. Okay, so here's something funny. You always hear all these jokes about the elusive 10 millimeter. Well, here's the elusive 10 millimeter. That's not the one I need. It does fit, but good way to strip out a head. So the elusive 10 millimeter going back in the bucket. I'm sure we'll need it at some other point on a General Motors vehicle. All right, so this is a 3/8. Yes, these are El Cheapo Harbor Freight. And right here, okay? So I'm gonna take off these 3, go around the other side, take off the other 3. So here's what I did with where it was broken. I just put a washer on it. That way it helped hold it in place. But you know, see how it's really doing a great job. So I think this thing got bent again. So I guess it's not doing a good job at all. So might as well not even be there. Maybe I can do better than that. So they were coming loose pretty good, and they're starting to get tight. I want to hit them with PP Blaster again, because like I say, I really don't want to mess up those threads. I'm not really concerned about the threads in these, because you know I can always replace these, but I don't want to mess up the threads in the deck. I really prefer that. I've not touched this one at all. Let's see if it was doing anything. It was doing nothing. Wasting my time with that. Oh well, it keeps the belt from coming off. Let me tell you about something. Time does not stand still, that's for sure. Someone was telling me today, someone that I've known for quite a while, that they had to put their husband in a nursing home. Known these folks for well over 25 years. I wouldn't say that the husband and I have always got along. Pretty bossy, but I always try to make peace, try to get along best I could. That's really the best thing to do. But there would be times where this fellow would try to bully me, and I wouldn't stand for it. That was his personality. But I do hate to hear that he has gone on to the nursing home. That's, you know, that's life. Life catches up with you. Let's don't get on depressing stuff. I don't know. It's been on my mind ever since I found out. You know, it was physically and mentally, probably more physically than mentally. You know, people don't keep themselves up. Well, I mean, you know, age catches up with everybody, but if you don't keep that body up, you know, you're for sure gonna go downhill. So let's see what we got going on under here. Wow, okay. So that thing right there, it even bent the bracket. Wow, I really wish I would have known that. Maybe I can put it in the vise and bend it back straight. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, it's not terrible. So there's the bushing. We gotta figure out what's going on there. All right. Lawnmowers. Oh, no, let's see. Did the bolt break? Wow, I really hope not. The bolt bent. Well, that slows things down. I thought I was going to be making a lawnmower repair video today. Looks like I might not be. What is... I don't know what's going on here. Maybe that spline goes down in there. threads are gone. Okay, so guess we need to figure out what kind of parts we're needing. We're gonna need a bolt, and that's bent. That's quite uncool. Okay, so I gotta get out the manual or the internet or something and do some research. This isn't cool. Well, I'll have to give you an update when I figure out what's going on. How about that? At least this thing will drive, but driving won't get the grass cut. Looks like this is gonna be a to be continued. I'll update you later. Maybe I'll add on to this video. I may just do that. So I think in one of my previous videos I had said that I'd replace this 5 years ago. Now these lawnmowers do have two identical pulleys. Maybe I replaced the other pulley, so maybe this one is original. Check out how loose those bearings are in there. So the thing would be a pretty worthless part if it only lasted 5 years, wouldn't it? So I looked up on parts on MTD's website and found a diagram, looked up each individual part, and usually I buy my lawnmower parts off of eBay. So it's dumb how if you're buying your lawnmower parts off eBay and you go to buy just a nut, how much just a nut cost. Because I mean, the nut is like $3 and something plus $4.99 shipping. Can you imagine the profit that somebody makes off that if they just buy a box of nuts and divide them out like that? And you know, a bolt and a washer. The washer is like $10 for free shipping. It's just a washer. Or to go to Home Depot and dig through the nuts and bolts and washers and stuff, and I would come out better. Maybe. Might consider it. We'll think about it. I don't know. I need to decide tonight because I need to get parts headed this way. All right, I'm gonna kind of put this thing back together and put it back in the shop because I guess I'm done with it for today. So I looked up the part numbers on MTD's website and finally found a diagram. I think I've got like a 2010 or 2011. I forgot. I did a screenshot of what it is. It's kind of an old lawnmower, isn't it? About 13, 14 years old. So anyway, looked up the part numbers, had a blow up diagram of it, got the numbers of the items, whether it was a washer, a bolt, and a flange nut with a nylon in it. And so it was a 3/8. Yeah, 3/8 by 16, but it was 2 inches long. The best I could do was 2 1/4. It's not going to hurt me to have a little bit extra sticking out. It's going to be okay. It's not going to interfere with anything. Look, y'all, if I would have ordered those parts off of eBay, they would have been coming from 3 different vendors, and just the washer was like $10 free shipping. I don't know what I paid. We'll look at the invoice, the receipt, but I got 3 washers, and they may not be the exact dimensions and everything of the other ones, but they're 3 3/8 washers, and I got them right now, and I didn't pay $10 for one. And let's see, what else do I have? Okay, these aren't flange nuts, but they are the nylon, and they're 3/8 16. But so since this is a little bit longer, if I have to, I can use one of these other washers and put underneath that nylon 3/8 16 nut. I'll have this joker all rigged up for less than, I think it was, let's see what the total was. Can't be showing you my credit card number. The total was $9.17. So the lock nuts, the 3/8/16, it's a 10-pack, and that was $4.57. The flat washer, 3 flat washers, was $1.25 versus paying $10 for one. And the 3/8 16 by 2 1/4, that was $2.75 for a grand total of $9.17. And I'm going to have extra stuff left over for next time. So this should work. We will try it one day this week, and we will see what we can get put together. The grass definitely needs cutting, and hopefully we'll be slaying some grass. All right. So instead of having to wait about a week for this stuff to come and paying about $30 for it, you know, I guess I could have ordered it from the MTD website, but you know, I'll have to wait at least a week for it. So I've got this now. This is the same day I was making the video, and if I get time, I'll put it back together tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be trucking, and you won't know the difference. All right. Hey y'all, what's up? So this is some pictures of where I was shopping on MTD's website. Found the parts, and this is 3 part numbers that I needed: the bolt, the washer, and the nut. And I looked them up on eBay to see how much they cost, and they were kind of outrageous. It's going to end up being about $30 for the parts, which is a bit much for only a bolt, a washer, and a nut. So what I did is I went to Home Depot. Here's the pulley. And what I did is I went to Home Depot and I did a little shopping, and I think I've got what will work. So it came out to like $9.16, 17 cents. So I got a whole pack of nuts, and now they're not the flange nuts, so they may run into a little bit of trouble with that. May have to put an extra washer on it. There's my bolt, and that bolt is only a 1/4 inch longer, which isn't going to interfere with anything. It's supposed to be a 2 inch. This is a 2 1/4. They didn't have a 2 inch in stock. And I got a whole pack of washers instead of one, which pack was only $1.25. Stay tuned. Hey, isn't that pretty? So I may try and straighten this out. It's kind of crooked. Put it in the vise, and I've got a brass hammer, or other I'll put a crescent wrench on it or something and try and straighten it out. I won't be able to video that though. So this part goes underneath. This will go through there. There's a hole in the deck, so you can access this back here. And then you got this part that it goes through that kind of cups over it. And then this will go on here, and a washer, and then this with the bushing down, that'll go on there. And it was supposed to be a flange nut that goes on here. I didn't see any. I did see some, but they didn't have the nylon, so I chose to get these. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, since I don't have a flange nut, I'm going to put a washer on top, and then that's going to go on top of that. Whenever it all gets pulled down, it's gonna look kind of like that, except for you'll have some studs sticking through, and everything's gonna be all nice and pretty. All right, time to get putting this together. I've bent it back some, but not all the way. It'd make it a little bit easier whenever I'm having some belt issues or something to get the belt back on. I wouldn't have to loosen it up as far if I built it, and the belt's not going to come off with it like that either. At least it shouldn't. If it does, I'm gonna be very disappointed, and I guess I'll get back to bending, but it's gonna be okay. Let's get this thing put together. Okay, so got my arm underneath the deck with the bolt that's stuck up through the hole. Not sure if you can see it or not. I can barely see it from over here anyway. See the bolt sticking up. So there's a little L-shaped piece that it's got to go through before. It's that L-shaped piece that rests against the deck, and then the bolt goes up through the part that's attached to the deck. Okay, and then what's going to go on top of this is the L-shaped piece that I just bent back a little bit, and then the washer goes on top of that, and then the pulley on top of that. Okay, that was a bit of a challenge, but I haven't taken my arm out from underneath the deck the whole time. Of course, I made sure I'd park the lawnmower where there's somewhere where there wasn't ants. So I put everything on top of this bolt, and my finger is underneath it, and the nut is on top. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up sticking something underneath that bolt so it doesn't fall back through the deck, but it's got a nut on top. And then I'm going to have to put a wrench on one end of it and get to wrenching on the top side of it. All right, let me get with that. So it's nice not to have my arm underneath there. So what I did is I've got a pack of cotter pins, and what I did is I just stuck that underneath there. I have folded over this old pack of files. I've stuck that up underneath there before. And so of course this thing is supposed to be right here. Got to get a wrench underneath there, and I believe to make this easier to work on, since I don't need to have my arm underneath there now, I think I'll drop the deck down. Okay, so what I do have going on here is I did fold over the pack of files, and I also have that other pack. Y'all know this sounds shade tree, but what I'm doing is I've got something underneath that bolt so it won't drop down like below the deck. I have stuck a wrench underneath there before, just used as a spacer, and that way I can get to the head of the bolt easier with the wrench. And what it does is it kind of lifts it up. That way I don't have that gap in there that I have to worry about trying to get the wrench on the bolt head. Okay, I still don't have it totally tightened up yet, but I took the stuff out from underneath it. This shouldn't move by the time I get done. And what I did is I moved this L bracket around to this side, and I went ahead and put the belt on. So the belt's around all the pulleys that it's supposed to be around. It goes around this pulley, and it comes around here, and goes around the back of both of these pulleys. Anyway, that's what it does. This is the front of the lawnmower right here. Okay, so what it does is it goes around the back of this pulley, comes around this one and goes straight across to this pulley, then wraps around behind that one, and that one is the tensioner. Okay. How'd you like the fact that I still had for some reason it's been hanging around with my tools. All right, so all I gotta should have to do is just finish tightening that up, and this thing should be ready to try out soon. Okay, so that happened last time too. Kind of get stuck underneath there. So wrench on top, wrench on bottom. One wrench slips underneath here, one wrench tightens it up. See, it's only a 1/4 inch taller, and it will be fine. They do normally stock the 2-inch. There is a spot for it at the Home Depot. Was the Home Depot, you know, where they have this, where the bolt was and where the washers were, is where they have the specialty things, you know, the drawers, and the nuts were just hanging up on the shelf. Well, got it tightened down, everything's secure, and oh, I got off track. So think about the 2-inch bolt. 2 inches is what it calls for, and as you can tell, a 2-inch would have fitted fine, but they only had 2 1/4, which it's going to be okay without a 2-inch. No clearance problems there. So put these guards back on, put the chute back on, and get this thing fired up. Oh, I did find the WD-40, the fake WD-40. It's the Walmart brand. It's cheaper. And I'm gonna take these back off, shoot a little bit of WD-40 or something in those holes before I put everything back together. See how rusty they're getting? I just replaced these a couple years ago. You can't see that because of focus. There we go. This went pretty good. Otherwise, I would have been $30 and waiting at least a week on parts. I'm happy. My wallet's happy. And I'm happy mentally. I wish I had a bigger washer for this. Do you know what? Ow. I do have another washer. What's in my pocket? Earplugs. This is another washer. Oh, it's the same size. That stinks. Well, it'll be okay. That's fine without it. Anyway, put these guards back on. Okay, so I went up to the house, had me a little snack, put up all my tools and everything before I went up there, and washed my hands, cleaned up. Sorry, I got a phone call. Coworker calling me from work. All right, what we're gonna do? We're gonna crank this thing. We're gonna engage the belt and make sure everything goes smoothly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crank it up. It's gonna be kind of noisy, and then I'm gonna engage the belt, and hopefully everything goes fine. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna cry. How about that? And if everything does go fine, I'll probably cut the lawnmower off and say, hey, give you a thumbs up, and that'll be in the end of the video. And hey, y'all, appreciate y'all sticking with me and watching this video about how to change that pulley. And what I did, instead of buying the parts off of eBay or through MTD, I don't think that's the same grade bolt. They said there was a grade 8 bolt. Yeah, I think that has to do with the hardness of the bolt, but hopefully this will work out. And you know, those are specialty bolts that they have in that section. Being they were giving it a grade like that, I'm pretty sure it's a good quality bolt. But we'll crank this thing up. I know it's gonna be loud on the phone. Let's see. Time before I drive this thing back into my shop is I'll have to cut the lawnmower off and have to pull the slack out of the belt before I drive it up into my shop. So it's like, I don't know, the belt's just still kind of dragging on the pulleys or something. But anyway, it goes. Everything worked out great. So that was a $30 fix if I was buying parts off of eBay from different people versus a $9.17 fix from parts from Home Depot. And I've got plenty of nuts left over. I've got a washer left over, and I'll have some stuff for next time. Hopefully there won't be a next time anytime soon, but hey, if there is, guess what? I'll make a video on it. Hey y'all, appreciate you watching this video, and I hope this helped you work on your Huskee, your MTD lawnmower, your Troy built, whatever in that MTD family that this would help you out with. Appreciate you tuning in. Please give me a like and subscribe if you want to check out this video for, you know, for lawnmower repairs, for some car repairs, and some other various repairs that I do, and some reviews of some things like my battery powered weed eater and just some different things. Okay, I appreciate your time, and y'all have a good one. Okay, later y'all.